So hello, today is December 5th, 2025. I haven't made any YouTube videos in a little while. I just had a lot of issues and things to take care of. But I had this on the back burner for a little while to make maybe a couple of videos on semi-numismatics. This is a collection I just recently finished off about 2 months ago. I got the last coin in. This is a tricky subject that I haven't really seen any other videos on YouTube, or there's really not a whole lot of information online about semi-numismatics. So I'll just go over, some of the notes and things, and maybe show some of the coins of how I put this together, and maybe it'll get to, someone that knows a little bit more than I do that can share their knowledge and actually, show the community how semi-numismatics is supposed to work. So first, to go over a few of the guidelines regarding this collection here, there is no definitive list online from a lot of the research I've done to actually, tell you where every coin comes from and how many countries there are that's produced semi-numismatic coins. But I kind of, wrote down some rules and some guidelines regarding everything that you'll see in this collection. So first, to begin, everything in this collection is going to be 1 troy ounce of 3/9 fine silver. A lot of the countries you'll come across, they'll produce 925 sterling silver coins, or you have like a lot of 90% numismatic coins. This collection here specifically regards 1 troy ounce, 3/9 fine silver. The third rule, it must be minted in the issuing country. I don't want anything outsourced in this collection. You'll have a lot of coins from like the Scottsdale Mint and other places where they'll produce, certain coins for a lot of like your Caribbean countries, and you'll have a lot of other mints that'll produce coins for different, African nations and Pacific islands and things like that. But this is just coins that are manufactured in the issuing country, usually by a government mint, but sometimes you might have a private mint in there sometimes too. So the next few rules, it describes what a coin is. You kind of you have to have a definition. Okay, what is a coin? Well, regarding this collection, it can be anything like an annual issue bullion piece or a commemorative or any kind of special series coinage. It might be somewhere like a national birthday or something like that, or maybe some kind of, like if we have like state parks and things like for the United States. Number 5, a coin must have a date on it. The catch to that, though, is it can be a Gregorian calendar, it could be some sort of Buddhist calendar, it could be like an Islamic calendar. Different countries, they use different types of calendars. So, but it must have a date, some kind of corresponding date on the coin. Number 6, the coin must have the name of the issuing country on the coin. Now, there's another catch to that too, because a lot of things, it can be implied, it can be abbreviated, it can be in a completely different language. Not everybody speaks English, So rule number 7, a coin must be denominated in the currency of an issuing country. The catch to that, it might be a present day currency. It could be some sort of antiquated currency. A lot of countries will have different rules, like they're not allowed to put euros on coins, but they have a little workaround they'll do to it where they'll put like an older currency on a different coin, just to where it's still tied to that region, that part of that country, but it'll be like issued in a different type of currency. Some of them, you'll have a certain coin that'll be like a fictional currency they might issue, but it'll be some sort of currency. You might have to use your imagination a little bit, but it'll be some sort of currency on the coin. Number 8, as long as everything falls within these rules and these requirements, it could come in any kind of shape or size. People think of a coin as just a flat piece of metal, but a lot of things, it'll come in different sizes and different shapes. So it could be painted, it could be broken down into different parts. A coin can be so many things, but as long as it fits within these rules, we're just going to go, okay, this is what a coin is. And now we'll just go and start looking at the coins in this collection. So fitting within those rules, I've learned there are 33 countries total. There could be more. I'm not 100% certain on a few of them. Like I'm not really too sure about Mongolia, and there's maybe a few other ones. I'm not 100% certain. I'm not really 100% certain of some of the ones they even have in the collection here. But from my research, which is really extensive, I've learned there are 33 countries globally that produce semi-numismatic coins. So to start us off, number one on our list, representing Australia, minted at the Perth Mint, which is located in Perth, Australia, denominated at $1 Australian dollar. We have an Australian kangaroo. Now, Australia also makes a lot of other different coins. I think they make koala coins, kookaburras. I think they make one for an emu. There's a couple other ones they make. But I just went with the basic bullion coin issued from Australia. So on the front of the coin, the obverse, you have the King of Australia, Crocodile Dundee. Some of the older ones would have the Queen of Australia, Olivia Newton-John on it. And so this one here is a $1, $1 Australian dollar, 1 troy ounce, 3/9 fine, well actually 4/9 fine silver. This would be if on the obverse of the coin we have the Australian kangaroo. Next up is number 2, representing Austria, minted at the Vienna Austrian Mint. We have a Austrian Philharmonic. This is a 1 ounce, 3/9 fine silver coin. It's denominated at 1.5 euros. Next, at number 3 on the list, representing Bulgaria, minted at the Sofia Bulgarian Mint. This is a 10 lev Bulgarian Nikolo Gairov. He was a opera singer in Bulgaria, like a famous opera singer, and this is part of the Great Bulgarian Voices series. So next on the list, I guess you have to use imagination a little bit, representing the northern U.S. territories, minted at the Royal Canadian Mint. We have a Canadian Vermont maple, and on the front of the coin is the Queen of Canada. It's Pamela Anderson. And on the back of the coin, you have the seal of Canada, which is the Vermont maple. So next at number 5, representing China. It can either be 1 of 3 mints. It's either from Shenzhen, Shanghai, or Shenyang, China, minted at the Chinese Mint. I have a 2015 Chinese panda. These before 2016, they made them in 1 ounce. After 2016, they started making them into 30 grams. But this is actually a 1 ounce coin. Next up at number 6, representing Croatia, minted at the Croatian Mint, is a 2021 Croatian Dalmatian. Next up at number 7, representing Cuba, minted at the Casa de Moneda de Cuba, or the Cuban Mint, in Havana. We have a 1988 Cuban Che Guevara. Next, at number 8, representing Denmark, minted at the Royal Danish Mint in Copenhagen, we have a 2008 Danish Danbrog. Next, at number 9, representing France, minted at the Paris Mint, we have a 2023 Pierre Hermé Macaron. This is one that is not shaped like a regular coin. It's like one of those little cookie things, a macaron, denominated in 20 euros. Next, representing Germany, from the Bavarian State Mint, which is one of 4 state mints in Germany, we have a 2025 German Bavarian dollar. This is one of the antiquated currencies. The dollar is actually one of the currencies that led to becoming a dollar. So next up, representing Hungary, minted at the Hungarian Mint in Budapest, we have a 2023 King Andrew I. These are some very, very hard coins to acquire. They had a very limited mintage of these. I actually had to get this one ordered straight from Hungary. So next at number 12, representing Israel. Israel is a little bit different situation because you have two different mints in Israel. You have the Holy Land Mint and the Israel State Mint. They're both really the same company, but the Holy Land Mint actually makes rounds and things like that, whereas the Israel State Mint will make you coins. They're really the same mint, and they both come out of Tel Aviv. So this will be a 2025 two shekels, 2 shekelin. They make a new one every year, and 2025 is a commemorative, like a birthday commemorative. So this will be for AI commemorative. They make a new one every year for different things. 2 new shekels. So next at number 13, representing Italy, we have a 2025. This is a quarter, 1/4 euro. It's part of the Flora and Fauna series. It's called a Daisy. Minted in Rome as a Rome mint. It's actually let's see if I can pronounce this right, the Istituto Prografico Esatto dello Stato, which is the Polygraphic Institute or Instatement of Italy. You have a Flora, some kind of like a Roman goddess or something named Flora. So next on the list at number 14, representing Japan. This is minted at the Japan Mint. This was a special series they did called the 47 prefectures. A prefecture is like the states, or kind of like the counties, counties, parishes, and all that. I went with this is a 2012 Oita. It's actually, they come painted. You can't really get them plain, just painted. I thought it was a pretty neat one. Denominated 1,000 yen. It has a day at the bottom, but it's like a 24. It has something to do with kind of like a Chinese calendar, like a certain year in the Chinese lunar calendar. So next on the list at number 15, representing Kazakhstan. Minted at the Kazakhstan Mint in Oskamen, Kazakhstan. We have a 2015 Kazakhstan snow leopard. These are, they're really not too rare coins, and Kazakhstan does make a few other ones. They're kind of like, they make a lot of different types of series, but your snow leopards are pretty much the predominant coin for Kazakhstan, denominated in 1 ting. And number 16, representing Mexico, minted at the Casa de Moneda de Mexico, or the House of Mexican Money in Mexico City, we have a 2024 Mexican Libertad. They make a lot of special ones of these. Sometimes they like to have a lot of the proofs and things. I just went with just a basic, 2024, just a regular Libertad. The interesting things about these, though, these aren't denominated, but they are still recognized as legal currency, legal tender in Mexico. Next, representing the Netherlands, minted in Utrecht, Netherlands by the Royal Dutch Mint. This is a 2019 $1, a lion dollar. They use an antiquated currency. The Netherlands, they actually use the euros, but they minted a coin. They don't put euros on their numismatic coins, so they made a work around it. They went ahead and made this is an antiquated currency based on the lion dollar, which was a currency they used back in the 1600s, I believe. So it's based off an old currency of the Netherlands. And number 18, representing North Korea. This one here is a bit tricky because it could be possibly outsourced, but there's not a whole lot really known about these coins. It's possible that it could have been minted in Singapore, but really not too sure because there's not really a whole lot of information on them. Now, I'm saying Pyongyang does have a mint, and they do. I mean, they can make nuclear missiles. I'm pretty sure they can make a silver coin, But this is a part of the Wild Animal series that came out in this is a 2003 Wild Animal series pangolin from North Korea. Like I said, it's not too sure about this one because it is possible that it could have been made in Singapore, but Pyongyang likely does have the technology to make a silver coin if they really want. I mean, they can make a nuclear missile, they can make a coin, So it's not too certain, but it is a possibility. And these coins are really hard to come by. A North Korean 2003 pangolin. As number 19 on this list, this next coin I found, of all these coins on this list of all 33 countries, this next coin is I found the most difficult to acquire. This is coming from the Philippines. In 2024, they produced a commemorative for the 75 years of central banking in the Philippines. They made a very limited number of them, and of all the coins that the Philippines produced, this is the only coin that was produced in 1 ounce 3/9 fine silver. On the front, it's denominated in 750 Philippine pesos. On the back, you have commemorating 75 years. And so this is one of the most difficult I found of all the coins in this collection. This is the most difficult one to acquire. So next up, representing Poland. This is another tricky one with Poland because I actually have 2 coins in this collection. So you have one coin, which will be the Polish zloty coin, which is I have a 50th anniversary of the Warsaw Uprising. It was minted in Warsaw, Poland, by the Mint of Poland, the Moneta Polska, and you'll have that would be your state, your government issued bullion. Now, I also have a second coin, and I kind of got this in it. There's a lot of confusion with this one. The second coin, it comes from the allegory series of the Germania Mint. So this allegory series, the one I specifically went with for this, because it comes from a private mint, but the allegory series, it features the Lady Germania and Lady Polyonia. And the German Mania Mint is actually in Jelenia Góra, Poland. So I went with both of them. I just went and added both of them to the collection. The first one is denominated in 300,000 zlotys, and the second one, the allegory series, is denominated 5 mark. With 5 marks is sort of like based on historical ties to the region, and on the back, that crest on the back, it is it's loosely based on German and Polish elements to it. It's all fictional. It's complete fabricated fictional coin, but it does fit within what we're aiming for in this collection. How I had that set of rules from the beginning, so it does sort of fit within the realm of what we're looking at. So next, at number 21, representing Romania, from the Romania State Mint, we have a tin lei. This is a 2009 tin lei. It represents the acceptance into the European Union. It's like an anniversary, the 10-year anniversary that they were accepted into the EU. So number 22 on the list, representing Russia, from the St. Petersburg Mint. There are 2 mints in Russia, actually. There's the St. Petersburg Mint and the Moscow Mint. This particular coin comes from the St. Petersburg Mint. This is a St. George the Victorious or St. George the Dragon, depends on how you really want to say it. Uh, St. George the Dragon is a popular tale a lot in Eastern Orthodox Christianity countries where that's the predominant region, the predominant religion of that country. And this is a 2024, 3 rubles. And on the back you have the crest of Russia, which would be like a double-headed eagle. Which your Polish eagle is a single head, and your Russian is a double head. At number 23 from Serbia, from the Institute of Manufacturing Banknotes and Coins, Topsider, we have a 2024 Serbian Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla was a citizen of Serbia, and so they did every year they come out with a different invention and things that he did, or patents and things like that. This one here was for a like a electronic ray gun, direct energy ray gun weapon. He had like some kind of patent on it, I think it was. At number 24, representing Singapore, from the Singapore Mint, we have a 2024 Singapore Lunar Series. This is for the Year of the Dragon. They make a couple of different versions of these. I really kind of like the colored one. Plus, like you see that the Japanese one is also colored, and you can't get that any other way. So I went in, just to kind of make it. So this one here is colored, plus that Japanese one over there is still colored. So this one here is denominated in 5 Singapore dollars. It's like a petal shape. It's not a round coin. It's like petal shape. They also make another kind too. They do make a round one, and I think there's like they have another one. I think it's a different shape too. It might be like a hexagon or octagon or something like that. They got the seal of Singapore on the back with the date. So that's Singapore. At number 25, Slovakia, from the Pressburg Mint in Bratislava, Slovakia. This one here is a bit tricky because, well, both countries, the Czech Republic and Slovakia, Czechoslovakia, neither one of them produce actual coins. Like you have the Czech lions, but they'll put the island Nua on it, and they'll have the Slovakian coins, the Slovakian mint. They'll make a Slovakian eagle. So this coin was a bit tricky, and what I found this coin was same as we go with the lion dollars, and both countries at one time were a part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. And the Pressburg Mint had released this coin in 2019. It's a 3-cruiser, Leopold first 3 cruisers, and the coin here is an antiquated currency, the same as like your lion dollar or the Bavarian dollar. It's sort of the same, falls in that same category. So you can see at the number 3 for a 3 cruiser. But Leopold I was a king or something like that at the time. And on the back, you have it's the night. You have 2019 as the back. So you have a date on it. Everything fits within our. It's currencies, sort of, but everything fits within our parameters or guidelines of what we're going for. So that would be from Slovakia, the Leopold III cruiser. At number 26, representing South Africa, from the South African Mint in Centurion, South Africa. I have a 2021 South African Krugerrand. This is another one. The South African Krugerrand is just like the same situation as the Mexican Libertad, where this is actually not the Krugerrand. It's actually the South African Rand is the currency of South Africa, but this is still a recognized legal tender of South Africa. This will be a 2021 South African Krugerrand. Again, very common coin. Nothing too low mintage or nothing like that about it. At number 27 from South Korea, minted at Comsco, which stands for the Korean Minting, Security Printing, and ID Card Operating Corporation. It's like there's a really long abbreviation. We have a Chiwoo Chi Wang. The interesting thing about these, South Korea is minted by a government mint of South Korea, but they're not permitted by the central bank of South Korea to put the actual South Korean won on a coin. So the workaround they did was they denominated it in one clay, which the clay is actually, it's like a roofing tile or something. Like it's something to do with they would paint these roofing tiles to ward off evil spirits. So, but it's denominated in one clay, and it says Republic of Korea. It's the national mint of South Korea, but it's just denominated in a fictional currency. At number 28, representing Spain, minted at the Real Casa de la Moneda, which is the Royal Mint of Madrid. This is from the Picasso artwork series. The one I have here is the crying woman with the scarf. That's a painting that Picasso had did sometime during World War II. There is a certain series that the Spanish Mint had made representing. They make one like every year, and they made a 10,000 or 9,999 of each, with Picasso series number 73 in that series, denominating 10 euros, and it has a portrait of Picasso, and each one will have a different painting. Each one in the series will have a different painting on the front side of the coin, which it is a coin. It's shaped. It's not a round coin. It's just shaped a little bit different, but it is denominated, and it has a date on it. And I mean, on the front it even says it's from the Spanish Mint. At number 29, from Switzerland, minted in Bern, Switzerland, at the Swiss Mint, which is one word. Swiss Mint is one word. I thought that was really strange. We have the 2025 5 franc Matterhorn. This is a coin they just minted for 2025 to commemorate the 160th anniversary of the first successful ascent of the Matterhorn in 1865. There were 1,865 of these minted, which makes this a very extremely rare coin. You can see it put a lot of detail into it. He's pretty easy to pick up, actually. I mean, they come with a hefty price, but these were really available for a little while for anyone that wants to pick one up. So very beautiful coin. So at number 30 on this list is Taiwan. or the Republic of China. The Central Mint of Taiwan mints several coins, in fact, but they also mint a lot of the Chinese lunar calendar series. But I went with an older coin for the series, just with all the other older coins I have, like Cuba. I mean, you can find some newer ones, but it's just a little bit easier for me, I thought, to get a little bit older coin. So I went with this 1991 Taiwan anniversary coin. It's a 80th anniversary of the national founding in 1991. It's denominated in 50 Taiwan dollars. And so it doesn't. The only problem with this coin, though, it's not necessarily to have a date, but it is corresponding to 1991 with the founding of the country. So at number 31, representing Ukraine, from the National Bank of Ukraine in Kiev, this is a 2018 Ukraine Archangel Michael. These are annual produced bullion. They do produce them in limited numbers though, and they are a bit harder to come by right now, just with everything going on in Ukraine. Yes, it's 1 ounce, 3/9 fine, denominated in 1 hryvnia. I really don't know how to pronounce the currency there, but it's basically $1 and one Ukraine dollar. Just a 2018 series on this one. At number 32, representing the United Kingdom, minted at the Royal Mint in Lantrasant in the UK. This is a 2023 £2 British Britannia. These are very common. They make basically an infinite amount of these every year. But just they make a lot of ones like with your maples and all. They make them in proofs and different styles, but and they make a lot of other different coins. But I just went with just the basic, just to cover for the United Kingdom that produces domestically produces coin. Number 33, representing the United States of America, from West Point, New York, minted at the Royal American Mint, is the 2025 American Silver Eagle. Again, these are like, they produce like infinite amount of these every year. And some of them are painted, some of them are proofs. This is just a brand new 2025 Silver Eagle. So that includes everything. If you have any questions on things, just leave a comment down below. Hit the like button and subscribe and all those things. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make any more videos anytime soon, but I'll periodically post things. So that's all I have. Thanks for watching. I'd like to give a special thanks to all the channel subscribers. And if you haven't already, please leave a like, comment if you don't mind. And if you're feeling generous and would like to help someone, I have a few links in the description below. Thank you, I really appreciate it.